I've done it in a while, but it's a nose kind of collar tie. Facing this way. If you just sit down, it's just going to be the whole thing about coming, and you can do this in gi as well, but coming to this seatbelt as we're coming in. Ideally, I want to stab the heart around the hand, which
right.
you know that stuff. So whatever I'm doing, my control's going to come from these elbows right here.
Right.
So I know Tanner's been working on a lot of this hiding stuff. Sometimes if you lose it, what you can do is flipper, grab that midi portion if you can get that midi portion, and then use control to like deflect or start working this short choke.
Right. Well, the other thing that Tanner does is he'll do the flipper on this side. If you get it broken across, he'll flipper and then hook the armpit at the armpit.
So, okay.
Yeah, and he'll just get the two middle fingers and.
So that reiterates that whole coming into that. This is where the control
getting the
is.
shoulder control.
People think it's from this chest to this right here.
Right.
Which I'm not saying you do think that or not, but when I'm here, this is crucial.
Right.
So it's either elbow on this clavicle, shoulder area, and I'm getting this up here. So if I'm losing this and my head isn't in position, I lose it. This is the only thing that's keeping me from losing that position.
Right.
And this is the only thing that's keeping me from losing this position. So I'm going to keep this position like I'm resting my head here on this elbow to get here. With the elbow, I want my elbow right under your chin, but you can see my short arm. I gotta get really under. So when we start doing this, I was doing this with Dante, he's doing this cross choke. And I said, it's not that it's not effective, but it's not as high a percentage as this. So if we get here and you deflect me and you start hand fighting early, right? This is why I want to always make it muscle habit so the choking hand comes under this. So if you do start breaking this, I want to bait you with this one.
Right.
So you can start taking this top hand, hopefully. But my instinct is to go like this. As you're pushing down that tricep extension, I'm not pummeling and going at 5-0.
Right.
So I'm not fighting this direction. What I'm trying to do is pummel, boom. But at the same time, as I come in and you start deflecting, you start pulling, I'm going to deflect and bring this hand up to this rock climbing grip.
Okay.
If I get here, I've kind of lost my advantage. Because we always end up doing here like this American Legion or this gladiator thing. I want to think of this.
Right.
So even if I get here and the right hand starts fighting this hand, what I want you to think of is head position, head position, head position.
Yeah, and just keep walking it up.
Yeah. The only thing is I'm going to ask you to do it on this side. You're fine. But I don't know if that's going to, we'll see how that works.
Which side do you want?
On this side.
You want
So
to
it'd
come
be
over here?
over on the left hand.
Okay.
Yeah. You need to tweak on this one. So as I start, you just try to seatbelt. So go to seatbelt. Yep. And so if I start peeling this, you can almost bait me. Pummel with this hand. Get that 5-0 grip. Now I want you to grab right where my knuckle is. And so then, exactly as you're here. And I want to feel a little head pressure already. Put your temple down lower by my ear. And now as I try to pummel, you go ahead and tricep down, and you can short choke, or then we'll eventually work on getting your leg over and get my elbow trapped.
Right.
So, but go ahead and start going into there, and I get you before. Do the same thing. Now you've got this. You can use your head to push my head forward. Go ahead and nudge. Yeah. So if you get this position right here, I like doing one, push the back of the shoulder, and then what you're gonna do is pop my head up. Perfect, yeah. And I think you probably already do that.
Yeah, it's.
Yep, just nice little, and if I'm just being
And
stubborn
yeah,
right here,
if you're being an ass here, then I
Go
go under the nose.
go ahead and give me this too.
Oh, okay. There.
With your right hand, you can give me this right on the nose. So if you pop this and it doesn't happen, I don't have to do this. I can give you that one.
Right.
We'll do that in law enforcement, just a little but if not,
Well, it's, yeah, a little pain compliance action.
if I'm really trapped in here and I can't do it, try pushing my head that way. And you might create space.
Got it.
And if you can't, grab my head, push it this way.
Well, the other side is there's also this cross face there.
And I was going to go back down to the cheek and the nose, but let's just say for some reason this doesn't do it, and pull my head back this way. Now you've created that space. And it's going to be harder in the gi, especially with us shorter, thicker shoulder people.
Right.
But I want you to think control, position, and then just go to that short choke, or just be right in there. I want to go that to previous. If you get someone into a turtle, just always riding their hips instead of chasing that seatbelt. So what we're working with Dante, which I thought was really good, is he didn't know what to do from turtle. He didn't know how to attack turtle or defend in turtle.
Right.
So he was doing, and you did.
And they've got the there's also there's the clock choke.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ones that I'm currently really enjoying. So if I'm on this side, I'm knee to knee, I've got good hip pressure, I've got good hip control. If I can't get in here, then I can usually come in,
Perfect, yeah.
grab that cross collar, and then sit out for that clock choke.
There's a couple of chokes you can get from there, which is gonna work for you. I like that you know how to collapse the hips and the knees and blocking and stuff like that. But I don't want you to lose a back because you're chasing the seatbelt. If
Right.
anything, if you get into turtle, and I'll try not to get too much weight on you, but go ahead and get into turtle. The biggest thing I want you to worry about is this bikini area I was talking about.
Right.
So you can post your head, and instead of doing your forearms like this, I want you to post your forehead, and I want you to get your elbow up here on your thigh, so that you're protecting this and your neck.
Right.
You can either do both or the other, or from here you can also protect your neck. So if I can't get in here and I can't get in here, you're blocking that. But you're also keeping your weight back. As soon as I start getting up here above your I want you to haunch up, tripod up, flip me over and get ready to wrestle up.
Right.
So this is where I'm gonna feel like if I'm blocking this, you can bring this elbow in. You don't give me that shit, I can't get a spiral, I try to get your neck. So then what I'll do is I'll start riding your hips. So now you can't be mobile, but you can also I can't attack your neck.
Right.
So I like to ride right on the love handle. I may have done this to you before, but
Yep.
I just right here. And I'll just put this weight here. So you get a little frustrated. So what are you gonna do when I start putting weight on here? You posture up. As soon as you open up a little bit, I'm getting that healing.
Yep.
So once I can get both heels in,
Yeah, that's one of Tanner's things is he likes getting that, just sitting on the sacrum, sitting right there, keeping the feet up, and then that in gi he likes to fucking grab that fucking reins in the back of the collar.
those are the two things I was gonna point out. Gi and no gi. Use that collar, fucking Bronco ride. Grab the belt if you want to, doesn't really matter.
Right.
With your grips, you can grab just the material too and just steer. Like if
Right.
you want to, and he's done this to me, both with he and Stan have gotten me, boom, boom, and then they sit me up, they pull me up
Oh.
with both collars, and then they just kind of take my back.
Yeah.
So they'll both
Well-
do that, and you can do that. And this isn't something that you don't already probably do, but it's something that you can use this weekend.
What I like is, and also out of the turtle, is when the person's in the turtle, when you're trying to get this far side, the knee, learning that the knees are more important than getting that seat belt. And so grabbing the sleeve, making him think about the sleeve, what am I doing over here, playing over here, and using that to drive that knee, get your spacer knee in, so that you can come up, switch, step over, and that gets you to your seated position.
So what I want you to think about for this competition, and I've seen it in your last few rolls, is that you don't need to rush to the submission if you don't have a position.
Right.
So I don't say it a lot. I don't go with fundamentals with our adults. I always think base, posture, structure. I mean, it doesn't matter what position I'm in, if I'm on offense or defense, where's my base, where's their base,
Right.
both neutral base, posture, structure, and then from that, I need to have that in order to control them. So I need to control their limbs. I like their hips and their armpits and use their shoulders and their hips, which I know you know this, but I'll go wrist, elbows, ankles, or knees. So if I can post my weight on that, or if I can frame on that. Cross face, misaligning the head from the spine and the hips, and you get the knees and the hips and the knees and the head to go in opposite directions as you go. So you know that stuff. But what I want you to think of is if you had your mount and your one max that I saw, control, that's when you start isolating leg, arm, or head. That's the only time you have to worry about it. Just like this, if you don't have control of the person in turtle or whatever position, you're not chasing that neck.
Right.
And I think you're already, I know you're already there.
Right.
What I'm saying is I want you to reinforce that through that. The only time you're gonna have to need to scramble or there's gonna be a sense of urgency is gonna be in your overtime. Because it's gonna be the first to score, so that means you gotta initiate, but you also have to do it in a defensive manner where you don't get caught.
Right.
So I wanna think of your dominant positions, which I know you're good and dominant in half guard or going to mount, but I want you to really emphasize getting a hand on the bodies and going for an underhook, either the elbow or the armpit. So
Okay.
even if I get you in some kind of half guard, I'm passing. You got me real good, you can do whatever. Sometimes we'll post here. Why don't you just always think gi here or whatever. And then what sometimes I'll do is I'll post. The only time I'll really post here is when I can't reach over here. And I'm not worried about this underhook, because if you start sitting up for the underhook, it's gonna give me the pass. But if I post here now, I'm preventing you from regarding or coming in for an underhook there.
Right.
So if you reach over, this is where I'm susceptible, is you grab my back and you start hipping out. That's the thing that I'm worried about posting here. But I really like posting here. If we're in gi, I'll grab something. Grab a belt, I'll grab something. So if I can tether you here, now you can't hip out. Now I can start driving and start working my pass. But in no-gi, the only time I think of this is as I feel you starting to hip out, I'm gonna try to sprawl and use this to prevent you from regarding.
Okay.
So if you regard, I'm kind of stuck. But if you regard with this one, I'm blocking.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the only option I have is to try and
Try to recover like a butter half or something if you can. Some of those fuckers are flexible. So if I go here and you go butter half and you're able to get that left foot in there, I've given you a real good position to take my back.
okay.
So I got to be cognizant of that. If you do find yourself here, drop that elbow, just sprawl out. But this whole control of this is going to prevent them from getting up to their elbow, hopefully. And if they're up at their elbow, this is where you're going to be powerful with this. I want you to think of, if you can't reach and they're just really not tethering it, I want you to just think of getting right
Okay.
here. Because your leg isn't trapped. We decide to be engaged. But the moment he's not giving you that arm, he can't move if you post this weight right here, this armpit.
Got it.
I try to do this to you, and I failed because of just timing. So when you get here, I'm like, boom, and sometimes we're stuck, and you get a good hold of my leg. But this prevents you from moving your hips and posting on that arm and moving.
Right.
So I can't, unfortunately.
I can't post back.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do it on this side, and I'm gonna post up on this elbow.
Okay.
And when you do this, it'll just be less pressure here. But you're gonna know what I mean. I know you're not gonna hurt me, but I'm just trying to be cautious about it. So.
So you're
This
posting.
thing's gonna post on my armpit. I lose this position. You're kind of sprawling and framing, and I'm stuck.
Okay.
And even if I start to shrink out,
Yeah, I've got a higher hip position, so you can't.
you really
If you roll, you give me the back. If you shrimp away, I can chase you faster than you can go.
You're good at mounting and getting that 3/4 mount and then eventually mount, but this is gonna allow you to go over here. What's even better is when you get there, boom, get out. Instead of going to this side, I want you to just hop over to the back. And it's just a little hop.
Yeah.
Now you can smash me and I'm fighting this where I'm gonna have to turn around.
Well, and I think there's also that step over that I've gotten pretty decent at.
Perfect.
And then I can put knee pressure on the hips to stop those.
All these work on your path, what your game is doing. These are
Right.
really good for you. You're really good at dominating and controlling with the knee pinch and stuff like that. That still works for you. If it's there,
Right.
it's there. But here, you're now tripoding your weight onto the knee. As you can see, if I'm up on that elbow, but if I'm not up on that elbow, it's gonna change the game completely. You don't need to post. I want you to fight that. You can post on my chest if you want, but you can actually fight together. And I can't really do anything other than trying to regard.
Right.
Now, if I regard, I give you that knee. So I want you to think of those little knees. This is where you're controlling my shoulder now. You be mobile on your hips.
Right.
Because you're good at doing both. You'll sprawl me out, you'll stretch me out, and you're controlling my shoulders, and you're pinning my hips, whereas you don't need to. You got such good control up there,
Right.
or you got such good control down here, you can also start fighting to this other legs.
Okay.
If you find yourself with your hands over my head, not keep my elbows in tight, I want you to cut my head with both hands, and either bend me down, or start cross facing and send me out.
Got it.
To where you want me to be. There you go. So if you can't get under this, because I'm being tight, where the head goes, the body's gonna follow.
Well, and the other thing that I've had some success with is, especially in half guard and gi, is pulling
Okay?
and then using this, using
Which
the,
that was for hand,
yeah, and using it as a virtual underhook. If I can get that
Yep.
gi over, I've got control of that arm.
I like it. So these are positions where you're not gonna necessarily have to be stronger, I just want you to work on that position. And if you get caught with a bigger guy trying to get that head and arm from that position, I want you to keep your elbows in tight and either regard or just think of where you were vulnerable in that last match. I can't overhook your head as well as I want to, but let's just say up here, right here. So right now, the only thing I got is this. If you can start rocking your hips from left and then right, and then get to your right elbow. I can't do anything once you extend from that. Yeah. So I want you to think of that. You can either rock and bring the elbow up, or as you rock, you can bring the elbow in. Okay. So we'll go back to that on your shoulder, and I'm going to be pressure. So this time, let's try to go elbow in, and then rock into it. So I'm going to rock and then push up to that kickstand. It might be harder on your shoulder. The other one might work.
Easier. No, it's actually easier. Going that way.
Yeah. We're going to increase the pressure on the next one. I'm going to give you a little bit more. It should be there. You're going to definitely have to defend the choke
Right.
while you're doing that.
But the defense is still, it's the same thing.
You're bringing your elbow down, keeping it tight, and you're trying to bring this elbow in, which is making your core tight.
Right.
You're in that iron squirrel, but you're able to build up your frame. So you got base and posture and structure going towards you, and I've got what? One knee, and I'm sprawling. I've got no base.
And then by the time I get out, I'm in a good position to start my
Either
core sleep.
under or fucking dogfight. It doesn't really matter. But these are things that you're already naturally doing, and I don't have a problem with where you're at. We just got to polish off some of the things because you don't know who you're going to go
Right.
against. A 10 years blue belt or a fucking 6-month blue belt. I don't know.
Well, I know one of the guys. We're friends on Facebook. We've been chatting back and forth,
It's gonna happen,
and so
And then when you get to purple belt, we're going to start going against each other. And some intermediate ones, you and I are probably going to end up in the same class. So.
probably.
That's fine. That doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
That's just gym stuff, and it's not like,
Oh no, I can't. He's in my.
no, it's not. Yeah, it's just, but it's not a mind fuck. It shouldn't be. It's
Right.
like, oh, does this to me? Yeah, that's the problem. We know each other's game. So knowing that,
Who can start their game first?
Yeah, yeah. In all the positions that you're at, if you can try to think of getting in the clinch on feet, or even from up far, like as we're in close guard or open guard. So in open guard, we're kind of here. I want to get past your danger zones. I'm either going to go all the way in, like Scott likes to do, just really just engage this right here with that hip thrust.
Right.
Because now I've got a good base. Anything you try to do, I'm going to use this posture and not give you my arm. I'm trying to use this. But here, I'm almost compelled to bend over. I want you to think of
Right.
coming in with those hips first.
Right.
So you're either gonna grab me, and if I give you that, what's the biggest threat I need to really concern right now? Like, you got this grip that can't get out, so I should be concerned about these points of contact.
Right.
So if I want to fight this, I can't. I don't have this arm. That's one-on-one. But I can hip thrust, leg drag, break the connection, drive my knee, things like that. Once you get to these positions, I want this knee in the knee pit or in the hamstring.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do it to you. So if I do get here, it doesn't matter which arm I get, I'm just gonna do it. It's gonna be mostly in this grip. It doesn't matter. This is just gonna be for. Would be create space there, get my foot out there. Because you know I need 3 points of contact. So just like climbing in, military vehicle, I need at least 3 points of contact. No, you're good. But that's, I pummeled, I tripped you, you fell. You're not falling in my half guard. All you're doing is switching your hips. So now, if I get here, if you stay bent over like that, I want you to make a habit. Lower your ass posture up. There you go. That's going to be your go-to. Drop that dump truck. If I say dump that,
Yeah.
I'm going to say it in guard, close guard, maybe standing up. That just means ass down, posture up. Much better. It's not effort, it's your fucking posture. I already know I gotta go to daily, but I gotta not let you pass. And all you're doing is going side to side, coming around my knees. I love it. So What about
And
Dave?
just getting those knees.
Yeah, and you're not committing your weight onto me until you need to. And then when you do, I want you to immediately go to underhook. You can get under my elbow, great. If you can track my elbow, great. So, let's say I go here. I don't know how you do it with De La Riva, but just I go here.
So De La Riva usually is just pressure down to detach and then start pummel that.
Let me get on your left side, cause. So whatever you do, whenever I get this, I have to cut the angle. I want you to drive this knee to my nose every time. Or I'll do it on this side, just more comfortable this end. If they do get to this, can you heel hook?
I don't think so.
Okay. So what I want you to
heel hook until Brown ends hook hands.
Here's what I want you to do is, I want you to get base and your posture. I want you to put close on my knee, but don't, just enough to where it's giving me shit. Grab down and grab my heel, put it up towards you. You're not heel hooking me,
Got it.
but I have no control. And I'm hanging out. So this is where I want you to do that, drive the knee towards my nose. So these are the little things I'll do. If I can't heel hook you because of the rules, I'm gonna control. So you're definitely
double check the rules.
You're definitely not heel hooking me.
Right.
And we know this.
Right, you can't heel hook from flat on the side of the foot.
But if they argue, that's where Tanner and I come in again. No, it wasn't a heel hook.
One second.
Because at this level, I do expect you to see some De La Riva, some Barambolos. But, you know, the older guys, I don't know. Like I said,
Yeah, that's the thing is that, you know, it's a question.
people don't expect me to invert, you know?
Sure.
So I just want you to be prepared. This is a real simple fix for the De La Riva. If they're really effective at that, they're gonna break your posture down. But that hip thrust, it's gonna help you.
Hip thrust in, pressure down, info.
I didn't see it. I didn't look at the illegal moves.
Here, kids, adults. Neck cranks, spine locks, slams, heel hooks for everybody. Sideways knee bars and individual fingers.
So you can knee bar and straight ankle, I believe. Those are the only two that I thought that were on.
You can't knee bar.
You can't knee bar.
No knee bars.
It said side
straight
knee.
ankle's legal though.
It said, okay, so no, because it said side knee bar, and I was like, okay, I thought that.
Yeah, sideways knee bar, and then it goes, so that's for all adults.
I believe you.
And then illegal for white belts, toe hold, calf slicer, bicep slicer, knee bar. No wrist lock, so wrist locks are legal for blue belts. No jumping, flying, close guards, or submissions. But yeah, that's it.
So I wouldn't recommend you going for that carny or the to the rubber guard unless we drilled it more.
Right.
But if it's there and you see the omoplata, you don't have to go omoplata. I want you to figure 4 in front and just think of arm lock.
Right.
And if you now you know that you can wrist lock, threaten that arm lock, that elbow lock, wrist lock.
Well, and that was the other thing, which
This is your good shoulder,
This
right?
bad shoulder.
That's the bad one?
Yeah.
Okay.
My support hand, not my flat.
So the one thing that I wanted to add is when I get in this back triangle.
Yep.
I've got this solid. And then one of the things that I've been having trouble with is, especially for stronger guys, I get this top lock locked up, trying this and trying that. I can get this opened, but I think I need to add this wrist lock in here. Because
Yeah, but let's think of this. Go to your left hip pocket and then cut the angle a little bit. And then I go back.
Right.
And you can hook my legs. Now, this is such a threat that this is effective. So now you can start fighting with this arm. You can already hear it in my voice.
right.
Elbow deep, beautiful. And I'm gonna try to fight. You can do whatever you want.
And
Go
that's,
right to wrist lock.
that's what I'm saying is the wrist lock is here, especially when they're
Elbow on the
fighting
hip.
back.
Yeah, elbow on the hip, wrist lock.
But I want you to think of, you are good at controlling from this, I call it triangle danger, but as you're in the back triangle, at the ankles cross, I call it, like for the kids, I call it triangle danger. But I want you to think of just like the rubber guard. Create a little angle, and then coming back down, hook it behind my body. I'm bigger, I'm about the same size as the guys you're gonna go against. So here I felt a little safer. But once you heard me having trouble talking,
Right.
that arm was almost yours from here. But once you went to this side, this was getting so bad.
Right.
So, go in that position. Your hand up here. Get to your position of control. Yeah. In a good way. So all you gotta do is just rotate more to your hips.
One more time. But instead of sorry.
No,
We'll just turn. We'll just turn. It's fine.
No, we will, but I just want it to be for you to see.
So the question I have is, sorry, pinch that leg for me.
To trap it?
Yep, trap it. Pinch it, trap it. So this is where I really like to use it because that's how the guy, that's how Bill kept from getting fucking leg triangle last time. Is he had that, and I didn't have knee pressure, and I didn't try and hook my heel there under my knee.
So what you think? You're right, your ankle's trapped with this right hand on your shin, or even at your heel, but probably your shin is better. I just want you to think now, I can't get out, trap my elbow, and I start pummeling with this foot. Control with this. That's right, what you think.
Got it.
This is the control you need.
So just hold the control and then pummel and fight the leg.
Because now, I'm not gonna be able to regrab, I'm not gonna be able to grab it. This elbow is keeping my elbow in place. Right. Beautiful. The more I try to control you, the more open I get you.
Right.
I like it. I like it. I'm pulling this one out of my ass because I don't do this one, but I know what I don't want you to do.
Right.
So this is gonna work for you. This shin control is just as effective as crossing in, probably more, because you were. I felt a lot of pressure with the control of the thigh pinch, or the Suzanne Summer, let's say.
Right.
When you got that, I can't go anywhere. But I don't think you're using as much effort either.
Yeah, it's almost nothing for me to just sit here, and then I can essentially ignore what's happening in the top half of your body and just play with my legs.
That's what I want you to do. And you felt I was trying to defend.
Right.
It's going against me. I got to double down on that figure four and work on you getting that. And that actually, I'll do that to you when we do fight. I'm trying to get your hand off your shin.
Right.
And you're effective at keeping it. I want you to be more effective.
Yeah, I can just throw that monkey grip on and just hold on to it.
Yeah. And if you want to, you can hug that knee too, because you might be able to.
Oh,
finish
that's
it.
true. Yeah, I didn't
forgot
even thought about that.
I just thought about it too.
Yeah,
I don't want
pulling
you to
that
do
in,
that.
cinch that in closer.
So let's try that. Let's see. As you're fighting for that control, and I'm going to trap that leg. I think I'm safe. Yeah, dude, that's gonna work. That's gonna work.
Got it.
Because they're gonna think you're gonna get that body triangle, or they're gonna think you need to get the arm, and then you get it with that sneaky knee.
Yeah, just pull that knee in and
I
close
fucking like
everything
it.
up. That's nice. That's nice. That wasn't even something I thought about.
I
That's
was thinking
awesome.
about it just now, because I was thinking rubber guards.
But yeah, that drives the head rather than driving the shoulder into the head.
It makes
with
that
this
space
thigh,
smaller. Yeah.
It just fucking crushes everything down, and it's 2 against 1 again with leverage.
Yeah. So I might be one of those people that can coach better than I can actually. But it's okay. I don't mind. But you know what I mean? Like when you're like, oh, I know how to do this, and I'm like, oh, I'm not my level.
Yeah.
But then I do catch some other people. But this is all good for both of us. So these are things that I want you to think of. We're not introducing anything new to you.
Right.
Like even that 5-0 grip from collar tie or the seatbelt.
Yeah, it's something that I've been trying to add. The ankle control, I noticed that a couple, 3 weeks ago, I noticed that Grant was doing that a lot. That he'll grab an ankle and he'll use that ankle to control everything up to the hip. And he'll let it go if he wants that leg to come forward. He'll pull it back when he wants the leg to go away. And so I've been trying to incorporate some of that ankle control.
Yeah. So what I want you to think about, what I think of is like, yeah, it's good to learn from Taryn, because he's very knowledgeable, but I always look to the smaller practitioners
Yeah.
and the women, because
Yeah.
they gotta use technique.
I actually messaged Tanner about that when I went to San Jose.
Uh-huh.
I was watching the blue and purple belts in the female blue and purple belts, and I messaged him. I was like, "These girls are so fucking technical.
Yes.
Like they're so sharp." And he was like, "Duh." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. They have to be."
This is why I want Marissa and Pearl. I'm sure there's someone else I'm missing. I want them to train with more women.
Yeah.
I want them. It's cool that they want to be scrappy or they have to be scrappy. Sarah too, but they have to be scrappy against us.
Right.
But we're not. That's not who they're competing against.
Right.
And when they get with a girl who's got technique and he's able to base out in structure,
Right.
that's what we want. Like with Pearl, she scrambles a lot and she's really good at getting out of positions. But I want her to use her strength, her natural
Yeah.
strength.
Because she's
For
strong as
structure.
hell. For as small as she is,
Yeah.
she's strong as hell.
She just gotta not think that she's being mean, and I get it. And that's what just it. You gotta deal with everybody's personality. But with you, I want you to remember you're not thinking about. And I know you're saying it, but I just in your head I want you to be first, either initiating the step in to the tighter clinch, or if you're in the clinch or you can't get in there, I want you to take a shot once you're in that space where you're comfortable at arm's distance.
Yeah.
I need you to get closer.
Move closer and take the shot.
I want you to get closer.
And I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
I get it. I am too. But the biggest thing is just if you get an overhook, everybody's worried about that underhook. That overhook is just as controlling.
Right.
And I like that with you to do that overhook. So if I think, oh, I got this, you can go to a mirror lock. It's not really a submission you're trying. But if they fucking submit or freak out because of that,
Right.
now you can catch them posturing up.
Posture it up and take the shot.
Block the
take
knee,
the doubles.
take the shot, double knees, whatever, take it back. But that little mirror lock is always there.
Right.
If they're shallow, you're gonna know. Because that's the first thing you're gonna do. I instinctively, when I feel that, I go deeper. So if anybody does that to you, that's what I also want you to do.
Drive
is just
deeper.
Go deeper.
Yeah.
Go deeper and reach for that collar, even if they're a nogi, reach up for their head, because now they're having to fight this posture.
Right.
You know, and even if they're shorter than you, now you got my hips under my shoulders and I'm fucking back on my heel.
Right.
But if they're taller, they're gonna have to change their level, lower their
Yeah,
level, which is
yeah,
gonna
drop it.
snap you.
Right.
You know, do a little Torianda, a little bullfighter sidestep, fucking.
Snap down.
Yeah, we'll
spin
snap
and
down.
snap down works really well.
I don't think there's anything that you're gonna encounter that's new. I mean, we know that buggy choke was there, but.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen the buggy. I know not to go towards the head, not to move towards side controls, keep driving in, keep that elbow in, and posture up.
Can you get your elbow under your knee pit if you wanted to do the buggy to somebody? 'Cause
Nice.
I've seen a bigger guy. I think I sent it to you.
Actually, it's this way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's there. It's there. I just don't know if I can do it. I don't think I'm long and thin enough to catch it on somebody my
So
size.
he's locked a few slides. Stairs compared to the other way. So yeah, I don't like it for us, but if it's there, you can use it to threaten. And if they do get down, then it goes back to that head position. I'm gonna have to get you on this one. So if I'm here, you get me inside control. I'm not gonna put this frame in, but we'll notionally put this
Right.
frame in. So what I'm gonna do is think of creating space by shifting to my bottom hips, which is this hip.
Okay.
Boom. And I'm controlling.
Got
I
it.
know I can't get it, but I'm getting my knee pit.
Right.
Your first thing is to either cross face or double down. So all this does is allow me to get my knee in.
Right.
So I'm not really even gonna try to buggy choke you. I'm not gonna try to rubber guard you. I'm giving you that shit so I can get in or I can get out.
So you can regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you posture up and you know your defense is buggy choke, you're like, this motherfucker's gonna buggy choke as soon as you posture up.
Right, the regards there.
So I want you to think of that. If you fucking fake it like you're about to rubber guard or you're fucking buggy choke me. So, boom.
So it's here. That's in. So I'm gonna come over.
Yep. So if I double down, all I need you to do is frame with this and get that right knee. That's all you need.
Ooh.
Oh,
No. It was.
yeah, no, I know it wasn't.
There was-
I didn't move.
Something in the knee right there. Wasn't happy.
You got any brace you can? I'm gonna go.
A little tendon or something.
The other one is if I posture up, same thing. I want you
Yeah.
to stand out.
Let me try it.
Yep, so get me here.
Here. Bring it under.
I don't notion it crosses, I just don't want to do it. in my
Okay.
arm. So this allows you to posture up. And all of these are positions of control. You're not using strength on any of these. You're just using your structure and timing. You are strong, but that's not what I feel when I roll with you. I feel base. I feel your good posture. Your resting hips. So when I'm under you, this is what I'm feeling. Is this hip control that you do? Right. If you have no arms, this is what I feel like you do to me really effectively. So the only thing I want you to add is elbow, underhooks.
Yeah. Yep.
So the biggest thing I'll also think of is you just fucking avoiding the guard and stepping right through your hip pocket, which you thought about.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, at an open guard, that step through passes. I hate it, but I love it.
If you could step on their gi, I'll do
Yeah.
that. If you can get them on side control for me on belly, what I'll do is if I can't post up, you're doing a good job of blocking this. I'll put my knee on their gi, right here. Now they can't hip up. So if I get this, then I'll change my foot to my knee. Now I'm still stepping on their gi. I don't want to pray. So I'll push up like a surfer. Now I'm stepping on their gi, and you can't hip out. So I want you to think of those little cheats. There's nothing wrong with
Honestly, I need to work on knee on belly. It's not a position. I don't think I've ever organically gotten to knee on belly.
that. Side control, we kind of went over it the other day. I want you to think of side control when you get the elbows up.
Okay.
Side control, when the elbows start going up, they're going to naturally bring their knees up, but you can pummel your knee under there. So we'll do it on.
No. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying that not something I want to work on right now.
No, I get you, but I just want you to think of as the elbows come up. If I bring my knees up to block, you can still just knee on belly.
Right. Well, it's not in the moment. It's not a position.
Yeah, that you've considered. Too.
Yeah, it's
You know it's there, but you just don't think about it.
yeah.
Side control and the elbow.
So, because I know submissions from side control, I know submissions from half guard, I know submissions from mount. I get that knee on belly is a good control position and it's a good transitory position, but so is side control, but I know submissions from there. I don't know any knee on belly just seems like I'm just gonna punish you for being underneath me.
It's called the impaler, and it's also a can opener.
Yeah.
It is a legit submission, but they'll call it a spinal crank. It
Yeah.
is. So
Yeah,
that's
'cause it is.
Right, because it is. So you can use the collar, the armpits, the head, but as long as you're not trying to finish them, you just make it uncomfortable to where once they feel the posture up, then you drive that knee in. Keeping that knee just windshield wiper off.
Wiper off.
And there's no real change of position. You're still driving the knee into them. You just scoop in the butt.
Right.
If you're in mount, you could transition to knee on belly. You won't get any points, obviously.
Right.
But what it might do is have them wrestle up so that they'll expose an underhook or for you to step over and take it back. Once they start wrestling up, you can just jump over to the side like we're working on,
Right.
or you can try to sprawl and get both your shoulders back on the ground.
Right.
So going from mount to knee on belly is a good transitional position for you not to lose your position.
Honestly, maybe that's something I should be working on when they go back to 3/4 guard. Is because that was the thing that during that one I sent you, he kept rolling to the side, getting to 3/4 guard.
Yeah.
I got to that control position. Maybe instead of trying to hip away and get that leg out, because I'm here and there, maybe driving the knee across to a knee on belly. No.
Oh, your leg is
Uh-huh.
trapped the whole time.
Yeah, my ankle is trapped, but if I can get my knee onto his abdomen and provide some pressure, he'll either go away in an attempt to get that knee off of his abdomen, or he'll go back to go try and get it the other way.
Not for this tournament, but there is a headquarters position that you can go to that now disengage your hips, and he's still got that leg trap, but now what you do is you ride his shin like a saddle.
Okay.
And I'll show you what headquarters is if you don't remember it, but we'll start from half bar right there. On the bottom. This is after this tournament, obviously. So
Right.
we're here, and you're controlling me in the gear or whatever, and I can't pass, and you're doing a good job. And you said you were in 3/4,
Yeah.
whatever you got to 3/4, so make this pass. So if he's doing a good job and he wants to roll over to his right, you can get this underhook, let him get that knee in. So get that right knee in. And I want you to think of that.
Okay.
So when you get to this position, what I'm trying to do is drive the shin into the knee pit. So I'm gonna ride your hamstring there, but I'm keeping my taint on your
Right.
ankle. So what I'm essentially doing is, I'm not retreating, I'm getting ready to do a tactical back step to flank you. So I'm gonna get this, boom. And now I'm trying to keep this so that my base is here.
Okay.
There's a lot of moves I can start working on here. With your hip thrust and your hip flexibility, I'm kind of in control here. I can side step that way, or I can start doing a dope pass to smashing your knee. So you're gonna try to fight up from this, and I've got total control, because I've got base.
Yeah, and you can pin the shoulders easily.
So if I post on the mat, I'm gonna lose my position. If I post on you,
Right.
I can, my legs.
Or just sprawl out.
Yeah. So again, it's from this position, from the 3/4 mount. I feel like this is going nowhere. You don't want to lose my position. You're not going to let go of my legs. Boom. But notice I never posted on the mat.
Right.
So I'm still in a good position. I don't think I can knee cut. I could fake the knee cut, grab the knee, boom.
Back there, of course, yeah.
So even from here, if I can't knee cut, I don't feel safe. I can't get the underhook. You're being real tight. I drop. Get this knee. I drop. Work on that one. But just so it's in your game for next time.
That's quarter mount.
Getting that shin. You're still in good base. I feel like I got a good frame there, but I don't.
Right.
You're in control because you got a good base. You can't knock you out. And you're framing on me.
Right.
So this is something we're gonna work on. For
So I'm gonna have to add that.
So what is the quarter? Just so you know it's there.
Right.
And for some reason I'm being tight, right? So you come from being tight, you can't do anything. One, boom, one. Now you're gonna use this in defense.
Got it.
Or I might get stuck here with this routine, drive this knee into my knee pit. I think I'm doing good.
We have to try and add that.
Yeah.
Add that framing on their body rather than going to the mat.
If you feel like you're able to maneuver around this person, try it. Not now.
Right.
But it's there because I know the frustration of feeling like I'm on top, I'm doing good, I don't know what to do next because he's fucking preventing everything.
Right.
I get it.
Well, and that was
You kept the position, that's for sure.
and that was the. If you heard the person who was recording was like, armbar's there, and for me, my armbar isn't great. It's not very good actually, and the thing that makes me hesitant for armbar, especially in tournaments, I'm willing to try them in the mat in the gym, but in a tournament, if you fail an armbar,
They're gonna.
yeah, they're gone.
So in the gi, if you feel that you're at a stalemate, 2-on-1 sleeve collar control, and think of pulling that hand up to the ceiling, whatever armbar you're going for.
Right.
So that
Well,
way,
in the gi, it's easier in the gi.
to control.
The control is easier, but again, for this particular tournament, this particular rule set, yeah, absolutely, I can go for the attempt the armbar because I've also got the OMA that I can go to afterwards.
I don't want you to change your methodology as far as in any way. You still got a good base, but I want you to think of just because it's submission only, you still got to go to base structure and then control and then submission.
Right.
Just like you remember, I feel a lot of white belts. They'll try to do RNC and they don't even have the hooks.
Right.
You could probably do an RNC without your hooks because you've been doing chokes long enough.
Right.
But a white belt without hooks, without the seat belt, they're not fucking getting it on you.
Right.
All right? They're not getting it on me. I'm like, go ahead, bitch, try it.
Yeah,
Right?
give it a go.
So-
Let's play this game.
So think of it that way. Don't be a white belt.
Okay.
If I say, if one of us, I don't know if I'm the corner, but if I'm cornering you, I'm gonna say control. I mean, slow the fuck down, dump that dump truck,
Right.
get your base, think of where your hips at. I'm gonna say hips, because I don't want to give away too much things like, go for the underhook, but I might just say, fucking grab this. I'll say armpit,
Right.
elbow. It's gonna make you think of,
Well, and if I can get to that mount position, the thing that I was not disappointed in, but that I should have done was that that arm was there. The place that I am comfortable hitting the armbar from is from that Kimura grip. Grabbing that Kimura grip on the arm, and then even if you get out, I've got a fucking Kimura grip on
it's
your
a good
arm.
grip, yeah.
And I, even if you get out, I can transition an armbar into that back triangle, into the back triangle armbar, all of that stuff.
I'm a big fan of the Kimura, which you're good at. This year I've been really liking that overhook, that overwrap. So that's another good control in the gi and no gi, that overwrap that I talked about. It's an overhook with the gi, or without the gi, I'll get your neck and I'll collar tie and then I'll reach over and figure four right here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good just posture breaking control. I'm not submitting you.
Right.
I'm just trying to control, and I'm doing that, swiveling the yoke, trying to make you chase my hips,
Right.
make you follow my hips, trying to be the lead dancer in that thing. So that's the only thing I want you to think of is just closing the distance, getting a little closer, controlling with an underhook or overhook or an overwrap, head position. If they're taller than you, do that. If they're shorter than you, I want you to fucking frame on the forehead and the temple and the ear. And if you're on top, spinal alignment. So if one of us says spinal alignment, turn their chin one way, cross face, underhook, bring the head sideways, whatever it is.
Right.
Because those are the little things.
Change their spinal alignment.
Yeah, that's
If
all I
they're-
want you to think of.
If they're
is-
aligned, unalign them. If they're unaligned, align them.
Yeah, because those are little subtleties that you're gonna already know. I don't need to tell you fucking an underhook and this and that. It's armpit,
Right.
elbow, and they're gonna just be like, "The fuck, why is he?" Oh,
Yeah.
Hey man, underhook,
Yeah.
exposed elbow, elbow knee connection. If they've got a good elbow knee connection, that's another thing you gotta remember. Like where you're at, you fucking got a good base right there.
Right.
So I'm trying to either get in and under your elbow knee,
To break the connection.
or push your knee or push your elbow. I don't want you where you're at.
Right.
I can't reach, and I usually can't break that, pulling it this way, but I can push your hand that way.
Right.
Just
Well,
like the hands,
or
right?
just the elbow.
Just the
I've had
elbow.
luck just hitting that. And it's the nice thing about it is with that elbow, it's just a tap, and it just pops out.
It's that knee
Fuck.
buckle that
Yeah.
we do with kids. So. You gotta go. It's 20 hours.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Thanks, man.
No problem. I'll send it to you.
I appreciate it.